Hi, I'm Caron Gordon, and today I just want to talk a little about long suffering. Long suffering, oh my God, that word. I remember growing up, I hated that word, long suffering. Because it really speaks to patience and endurance, which I don't think I have patience, I really don't. And it's difficult to wait. It's difficult to wait. It's difficult to wait until the answer comes. It is difficult to just sit and do nothing. Nothing. And if you are the kind of person that is very proactive, you like getting things done, you're a go getter, you're always pushing forward and pushing hard, then waiting isn't easy. And sometimes God requires that you do nothing. You rest in Him, wait patiently for Him. Sometimes you suffer long in situations, you suffer long in relationships, you suffer long waiting on God to answer. You might be asking Him for clarity for situations. You might be on a job for a long time and you're praying hard for a promotion, and you realize that others are coming and getting the promotion and you're doing the work and you're not being promoted. But God says, do not leave that job. I want you to wait right here and learn to suffer long. It might not be a situation with a job, it might be your health. And you're like, tried many doctors, tried alternative modalities, try everything, and you're praying and you're like, God, I need healing. I'm suffering in my body, I'm suffering in my mind, but still there is no healing. You might have gone to every prayer meeting, every prayer service, you might have been in every prayer line. You might been in your prayer closet, because sometimes people think that change isn't coming because you haven't been praying, and that's the same mistake that Job's friends made. They thought that he must have done something wrong, but God was bearing fruits in him. And I must say, because when you look at Job, and I was in Job, for a few months, and when you look in Job, and yes, Job tells us the first 2 chapters he did not charge God foolishly. It tells us, that he worshipped God at the beginning. And I'm thinking, okay, yes, we see that in the scriptures. He worshipped God when he just got the bad news and stuff like that. All the bad news, lose a lot. Cattle, children, friendship, lose a lot. His health, but he still worshipped God. And that is just so commendable. Because most of us, if we experienced one of the situation that Job experienced, we would have given up. We would have thrown in the towel. We would cry ourselves to sleep every night. We're not even sure how we would handle it, because I really couldn't say how would I handle what Job went through. But God was bearing fruits in him. I want to encourage you today. You might not see how it's working for you, and you're suffering long on a job, you're suffering long in your health, but your faith, you're growing in your faith. You're learning to trust, which is not easy. You're learning to trust God. You're learning to believe Him. It is developing a closer relationship between you and God, because some of us, we don't pray unless we're in trouble. We don't cry out to God unless there is pain. We don't turn to Him unless there is a need. David says, when thou saidest unto me, seek ye my face, my heart said unto thee, thy face, Lord, will I seek. Hide not thy face far from me, and put not thy servant away in anger. I just want to encourage you today. If you're suffering long, you're seeking for answers, you're knocking and you're asking God, why is it so long? The woman with the issue of blood, 12 long years, and she tried everything, spent her money on doctors and all that, and there was no healing forthcoming until she touched the hem of his garment. I'd love to encourage you to press, continue to press in the long suffering. Press until you touch. Because sometimes we're pressing and we're pressing through the crowd, and we're pressing through a lot of talk, and we're pressing through a lot of criticism. We're pressing through a lot of uncertainty, and God, I don't understand, I don't know why. And we're pressing through it. But she pressed to touch, and there is a difference. I want to encourage you today, press until you touch. And when you touch him, you will receive the change that you have been looking for. It's hard to suffer long. It's difficult. Sometimes you suffer burnout, but don't quit. It's hard to hold on when there is nothing. And sometimes there's a promise, but that's it. There's no evidence. Think about Joseph. A promise and no evidence. His life, nothing. There was no evidence in his life to say, boy, Joseph, it's gonna work out still. It's gonna work out. There was nothing. Thrown in a pit, then prison. Lord, where is the evidence? There is a promise, but there is no evidence. But without the evidence, I'm encouraging you today. Hold on. Change is coming. It is going to come, because God is not man that he should lie. Continue to suffer long, because God is going to bring change, and he is going to deliver you. Have a wonderful Easter.